So I thought I'd make this video on how they train me. Now, as I'm making these videos, someone is hardwiring to control this from a computer, and when I try to move and try to pinpoint exactly the location of the item, they set up the screen so that I have to keep pressing the screen and it doesn't do what I tell it to do. And it's not doing anything that I'm trying to get the phone to do. So when I'm going through this, it's very detailed that I'll sit there and I'll try to move this and they're not doing it. I don't know if it'll do it right now, but it looks like they disabled it. You see how it's shaking like that uncontrollably? Well, somebody's doing that intentionally because it's supposed to make me real jittery and piss me off. But I wanted to show this video because this is how detailed it is. That, like, when I press the phone and I try to do something with the phone and I try to use and I say I clear it out, I'll try to keep pressing the phone and it won't do, and it'll open up different apps and then it'll speed up and then it'll be precise. They're changing the screen touching, so you could see how that scrolled all the way down and I barely even touched the screen. Well, a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll try to open up this app and this will come down. And I'm not kidding you, it's very detailed to everything that I'm doing. And when they have a release mechanism that they're doing, that whenever it's supposed to train me, like I'll press this button. Did you see what just happened? I just pressed this and it didn't work again. I press this. Do you see what they just did right now? Well, what they're doing is they're programming the phone so it doesn't do and doesn't. It confuses me, and it's to train me, irritating. It's to irritate me, and I'll press like the alarm to set my alarm, and it doesn't open up. And like I'll press this, and it doesn't ever open up. So you can see I don't have any windows open up, and I have to keep resetting it. So I'll press this. You see how it's not opening up? Oh, okay, now it did. So the people right now that are controlling my phone can listen to what I'm saying. So they're releasing a lot of the locks on here right now so that I can't show you on camera. But it's a lot worse whenever I'm not videotaping it to show you proof of what these people are doing to me. It's very detailed of what these people are doing because the screen actually on here the touchpad isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's designed in order to irritate me and make it very frustrating on all my apps. Every time that I go through this phone, did you see what I just did? How I was scrolling across the screen and this entire top screen comes down? They programmed the phone to do this. And on top of that, every time I use my phone and I decide to scroll, did you see what just happened? I tried scrolling to the left and it wouldn't let me. Now it does. So whenever I try to scroll like that, every time I, turn on my phone and I open up the screen and I try to move over, it won't let me. And it'll do this, or something else will open up. And so I have to do it several times, or I'll try to scroll to the left side, to the right side, and it won't let me. It'll open up an app, it'll open up Messenger, and watch how slow it's programmed. This phone is programmed so that it takes everything of at least 5 more seconds to open up. This is a $300 phone, and it's 2023, and they make sure that when I open up the phone, did you see what they just did? Did you see? That's proof. That is proof of what I just showed you. Did you see what they just did? You see how I just pressed this and it moved across the screen? That's what they're doing. Now, this wasn't here before, but there's a white line up at the top, and that's what they did. This wasn't on Amazon. This is Amazon that now I do my shopping orders. It'll tell me when I go to orders what items have already been delivered, and I've already purchased this, and it tells me that it already arrived. But I went ahead and tried to process a refund because these people ended up, I think, stealing my property, and I have to purchase it again. So I wanted to say this because every time I try to use any app, they slow down the phone and program it very, 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 very slowly, so that it's very aggravating. You see, I press account, it doesn't do it. I go to orders, I can check my payments and all these different things, but they program the phone so that even whenever I click in and I type in, say, toy or something, and someone is watching the screen the same way that I'm watching someone is watching the computer screen, somewhere hacking into it. So when I scroll down and I try to look at things, that'll lock up the phone, and it won't let me use the phone. They'll lock up the phone and they won't even let me use it. So when I try to press, did you see what just happened? I barely press the button and it scrolls down like that. So like whenever I press this, it won't let me. Do you see how many? I try to scroll back and they'll disable these arrows here at the bottom, or these little tabs, and they'll disable them so that I can't go back. I can't. But right now they're not letting you show you this right now. They're minimizing the things that are doing right now. I know they can listen to me right now and they're hacking into it and controlling the phone. But this is some of the things that I wanted to show you, that it's an everyday task of what they're doing to me. And it's in the video games that they hack into. They actually recreate even apps. Remember I told you that I was raped by a transgender, and the transgender was not enlisted in the classroom somehow? Well, what they did is they programmed this and they put purple on there. And the reason they put purple is because they're white supremacists that want to make sure that I can confine to the racial superior white supremacy telling me and have me in a relationship with a black person. And I'm not trying to be racist. This is what these people are doing racist to me, because purple represents black, right? Purple lips, purple skin. So what they do when I go to classes, or when I go to these, say, programs, schedule, go to my file, what they're doing in this particular type of situation is I go to classes and it takes me a long time and they won't let me. So I can click on the days. I don't think they'll let me show you right now because I can't go back to the other days. I can click on the other days and it'll tell me if I'm registered or not for class or not. But they use this to diffuse my ability to go to school and to condition me. So I'm really sick right now. And to condition me and to mentally warp me into their mental standards, including religion. So some of the things that they're doing is, like if I sign up for a class, I can confirm. And it'll pretend, oh, success, look. And that's what they're doing. I go back, go to classes, and you see it says unregister. And they use these different methods of using the words unregister, and I can just unregister. I know this sounds crazy, but it's very specifically programmed to mentally target me mentally. Including a lot of the things that when I open my apps, everything that I purchase on my flights, my trips, anything that I do is all being hacked into and being controlled. And they know where I'm flying. They change the prices as I'm going through the fucking phone. So when they don't want me to use Expedia, then I have to go to booking.com. Then when booking.com, then they'll change the prices and I have to find something that's affordable. And they change the prices live on here, specifically adjusted to me, not to normal society. It's the same thing like Airbnb. They have every one of these houses. When I try to find a place, like I was planning to go to, say, Matamoros, every one of these people that you see on here have been set up to target me, waiting for me like a black widow, like a bird's nest. And they're stalking me. So they'll post up pictures that relate to colors of me, my dead sister, my mother, me being raped, relatives' names, and the prices are all jacked up because they know. And these rooms, this is in Mexico. Everything there is much more cheaper. But if you look very closely, a lot of the times what they'll do, like this person right here was one of the people I was planning to go to stay, or one of them, and I was just looking at them. Now, when you click on here closely, they know, the people already know that own this phone, already know that I'm going to go to Matamoros. So they put this people, so look, I click on this person. This looks exactly like Patricia Gardina. That looks like a man. This is what Patricia Gardina, this looks like Patricia Gardina. This looks like a transgender. So this person is not only just waiting for me in Mexico, but they put this picture and they put a Spider-Man up there in order to target me, because and they make sure that it's real affordable. Then you see how the price is real cheap? They do this on purpose in all these houses, all these places. They control my finances this way. So whenever I'm looking at places I possibly want to stay on Airbnb, it's not possible. I can't live a normal life because they specifically make it, because I always only look for the cheapest places I can stay because that's all I can afford. But that's what they do in all the fucking places. Everything, same thing on Craigslist. I go on Craigslist and I try to find another place to stay. So what they do is, you see Brownsville? I try to look for a place on Brownsville, see if I can find it. It doesn't click. It's irritating me. And it takes a very long time to load. You see these houses, you see these places that are set up on Craigslist, they're very specifically there to target me. You can see how there's an empty square there, like they have downstairs in that DJ booth. And I've been trying to find a place to stay. You can see there's thousands of people on Craigslist, on Brownsville, Dallas, Texas, all over the place. You're telling me that there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 100,000 people that probably live in that city that want to rent a room to make extra money? That's a lie. And so they set up these places. You see how I'm touching the screen and it rolls up? I'll touch the screen. Do you see what it's doing? It takes 3 to 4 times, 2 to 3 times at least, for me to touch the screen in order to be able to. Do you see what it's doing? And do you see what they're doing? And they do this because they change the settings on how the sensitivity on the screen and which direction it goes. And this mentally digests and trains me mentally. And it's on this is why I can't find a place, because I can go say, I can try to look up a popular city, like where there's millions of people. I put Dallas, Texas. We'll choose Dallas, Texas, and see what's affordable. We'll go to filter and sort, nothing more than the $600 range to $200. And all these, sure enough, every one of these has Flower Mound, Aurora, all these places know who I am, where I'm going, being contacted before I get there. All of them. All of these places. They're not coincidences. Because as soon as I contact them, some of them either don't respond to me and some of them do. But they're all there staging me. It's a trap that they're setting up in all these places that I'm going to. There's not one place that I can go to. And a lot of these ads right here are fake. Many of them are fake. Like, do you see how I keep touching the screen and it's going up? So I'll click on this screen right here. This isn't a real house. This isn't a real place. These are brand new appliances. But I'll look up here at the bottom and they'll sometimes write all this mumbo jumbo and it's not real. It says a map. Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. So then I go over here and I start looking at these other ads, and they put these soliciting ads up on here intentionally. These people that are some of them are setting up, are targeting me. Like I said, a bunch of people flowers. So they'll put a picture of someone setting flowers, and it's to play me mentally. Do you see how I keep touching the screen and it's going a different direction? I touch the screen again. And they just keep doing this repeatedly. I just felt like somebody shot me in my leg. So what they're doing, all these places are stalking me. You see how I keep touching the screen and do you see what's happening? I'm trying to change the rotation at times. Look at these. And so do you see what happens? Do you see how somebody immediately clicks and is controlling the phone as I'm scrolling through the pictures? They immediately change the screen settings, so when I touch the screen, it's not doing what I need it to do. And they do this. See, do you see how I to do this and it's not letting me, and they lock up the screen? Someone is doing that and programming the phone. They intentionally put all these different colors representing how I was raped and the details. It's very refinedly detailed of what these people are doing, and they're targeting me. They steal my money. They want to. They write down a lot of the times the details, how much money they want to take. Sometimes they charge a deposit. Sometimes they don't. But it's very calculated in everything that they're doing. Everything on my phone. When I use my Instagram, everything that I'm doing on my Instagram, you see all these pictures that they're having on there, and I'll refresh the page. Do you know what they're doing? Every one of these pictures that you're looking at, they're decoying them. They're fake pictures. They're delusions to what I'm actually visually seeing. And they'll train me, like they'll intentionally put Bible pictures and names, and then they'll put like evil, satanic, or demons and all kinds of shit to terrorize me. And then while somebody's beating me with electronic devices. So as I'm scrolling down, I usually don't scroll very far on the refreshing page. They choose these pictures intentionally, no matter what I do. And I'll refresh the page, and they say whether it gets refreshed. Sometimes they'll lock up the page and they won't let me refresh it. And they keep putting this. Do you see how it doesn't matter if I change my likes or who I'm following. Who I'm following has nothing to do with any of this. So they'll put a deer right there. Do you see how the devil horns? And they'll put this picture here, and then they'll put a shark. They put, they're very detailed on what selection of pictures and videos that they're placing on here. Very detailed. To mock emotions. This particular moment, they're putting a lot of Mariah Carey. They're doing a lot of crazy shit. This is the number of control shit they have over me. Did you see that I just pressed that button and it goes to something else? I tried to press that and it wouldn't let me. So I checked my email. And a lot of the times when I press this email to open up, it takes like 3 more or 5 more seconds than what you just saw. There's a delay to everything that they're doing, everything. Like for an example, this email that they just sent me, Shaolin Online, I talked about this guy following me, or he's a Buddhist monk and whatnot. I deactivated and unsubscribed from all these emails a long time ago. And the minute that I took a look at one of his videos, 2 days later, someone got into my email, housescratch@yahoo.com, and subscribed me back over to this to harass me and threaten me, knowing that I got all these Jesus pictures and crosses, and they're threatening me in this location who to worship. And they do this to instate their who the satanic worshiper is. It's so detailed. I've already gone and unsubscribed from this. Why is somebody hacking into my phone? I already unsubscribed to this. They're controlling my email. When I'm going through my email and I try to scroll down, it'll flip over to the other page. I try to scroll down, it'll flip over to the other page, and they just keep doing that repeatedly. So I wanted to say, everything that I'm doing is being controlled. That's how detailed it is. Whenever I click on my notes, you see how I just pressed on it and it's not doing anything? They programmed the phone to do this. Someone's controlling the entire phone while doing this. Do you see how it just flashed white? It's not supposed to flash white. It's not supposed to. So what they do, in order to play this racist card, a lot of the times I'll open Instagram or I'll open YouTube. You see it's gray? There'll be a flash of white. And they'll flash white at me. And that's what they'll do. It's very programmed this way. A lot of these videos that I'm watching, do you see how it just blanks and it just blanks out right there? A lot of the times whenever I'm looking at these videos, they're actually editing them live. And whenever when I click on a video and you have to watch commercials, they intentionally put very specific commercials that target me. And they know they start giving their secret messages toward me.
Kia, movement that inspires.
You know my first guest tonight from such...
So she didn't have to go back.
Sure.
And
Connecting.
And you can see this, what they'll do a lot of the times, it won't be real interviews. They'll actually use a green screen and it's not that actual person talking. And they'll do this to a lot of these videos. I watched like Ariani, you know, and videos.
literally from...
And they're just controlling the entire phone, even hand movement at times. Sometimes it's a genuine, I don't know who's controlling it, but it's extremely complex, extremely detailed. But they're doing this to my entire phone as I try to make videos or listen to music. You know, I try to open up something and they make a 3 to 4 more second delay. I click to look at, do you see how that, do you see just what happened? Do you see what they're doing? And now look, I didn't even click on that side of the screen. I didn't click to that. I didn't move the page. Look, now it's on the home page and now it's not. It's on the second page. Now this is the third page. Do you see how I just press this to move over and the entire screen here at the bottom moves up? Look, you see? That's what it's supposed to see. You scroll up and then that screen pops up. But I went and go like this and they control the phone. It's very detailed on this screen.